The program will begin in 15 minutes. Please begin making your way inside and grabbing your lunch. We will start promptly at 12 o'clock. Thank you. Hello, everyone. The program will begin in 5 minutes. Please make sure to make your way inside and grab your lunch and find your table. The program will begin promptly at 12 p.m. Thank you.
Good afternoon and welcome to Amazon, everyone. Give yourselves a round of applause for being here. Woo. I'm Sade Moore, and I am a global program manager here at AWS. I am the corporate president of Amazon's Black Employee Network and a proud to be board member of TAF. Today, I once again have the honor of welcoming you to TAF's Varsity Luncheon.
All right. Good afternoon, everybody. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Trish Malines-DeZico, co-founder, executive director of TAF. It's good to see old friends here, meet some new people, and some people I hadn't seen in a dog's age, so I'm glad you're here. Welcome.
Awesome. We would like to begin by acknowledging that we are gathering on the traditional land of the first people of Seattle, the Duwamish people, past and present. We honor with gratitude the land itself, the Duwamish tribe, other Coast Salish nations, and the many indigenous peoples who have stewarded these lands and waters since time immemorial. Thank you.
Thank you, Sade. So last year, many of you were here in this very room, and you invested in our students, in our teachers, and in our communities. You helped us raise over $350,000. Yes. And what that provided was a high-quality instructional coaching for over 80 teachers. It gave 120 teachers of color the tools to succeed, and we trained over 150 school leaders in building equitable school cultures. All told, 33,000 students in 38 school districts statewide had at least one educator influenced by TAF's approach.
You're here today because this work takes all of us. So what does courage to act mean? It means showing up when it's easier to stay quiet. It means pushing for resources when money is tight. It means challenging the narratives that tell us what's not possible. When you walked in today, you made a choice. You said, I stand with educators, I stand with students, and I stand with their communities. And I stand with the people doing the daily work to build a public education system that serves our future change leaders. That's the courage to act, and that's why you're here today.
So I'm so excited to have you all here for today's event. It's truly designed to give you an inside look of how we do our work. Basically, we're going to show you how the sausage is made. You'll experience how we support our educators of color so they can feel sustained and supported and validated in their work. And this helps them do their very best job at what they love best. That is educating our babies. You'll see firsthand the kind of learning experiences that teachers are creating. You're going to get a chance to see this live, and how our coaches work with them to create it. Teaching is truly a team sport. We ask so much of our educators. It's critical that we show up for them and set them up for success. That's why we are grateful that you are here, all showing up for them, for our students, and for their future.
Before we kick off the program today, we want to take a moment to recognize the many partners who make this work real. Thank you to TAF's district partners who courageously put students at the center of learning.
Big hand. Without them, we have nothing.
Thank you to our university partners who are helping to build a diverse, future-ready educator workforce. Yes, it's okay to clap after each one.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. And also thank you to this year's sponsors, Alaska Airlines, the Brettler Family Foundations, Expedia Group, and of course, Amazon, who once again provided this beautiful space.
I want to take a quick minute to thank you, because you have taken the time to make sure that we are here at Amazon every day.
You know I love you, Trish.
Yeah.
True story is I had no choice as a board member. Thank you to the many TAF volunteers today who give their time and heart. Round of applause. Thank you again. Thank you to my fellow TAF board members who advocate fiercely for this mission. If you're a board member, please stand up in the room.
Yeah.
Thank
Come
you
on, board
to our
members,
board
stand up.
leadership. Woo! And thank you to the TAF staff who show up every single day for teachers and students. This work couldn't be done without you all. Go Team TAF.
Woo! TAF staff, stand up, stand up. So today I want to give a very special thanks to my friends Evelyn and Matt, because once again they are going to match every contribution of $360 or more. Now there's some magic in that number. This $360 is all it takes for us to educate one single student in our partner schools using the STEM by TAF method. That's $30 a month. That's a little less than what it costs to fill your gas tank, especially today. All right? So it does fund an entire year, but if you sponsor one student this year, you will literally be sponsoring two. You will double your gift because of this match. So as you're listening, as you're watching the program, enjoying the program, I want you to be thinking about this and think about how many students you can support.
We also have some amazing raffle prizes. For those of you that donated, again, thank you so much.
So there are TAF staff that are selling raffle tickets. You see them? Is it more than one? Come on. Up, couple, 3, 4. Look at that. All these people here. So seek them out. Buy your ticket because there's going to be a raffle at the end.
You also have the opportunity to win an Amazon bundle package. And lastly, for those who have kids or love wildlife, we have a raffle bundle that includes 4 tickets for the Woodland Park Zoo plus 4 extra tickets to the Seattle Aquarium.
Whew. Okay, that was a lot. That was a lot. Who's ready for the program? Let's go. Thank you all for coming. I hope you enjoy this time with our students, with our teachers, with our partners. Thank you.
You can put your phone number, that's fine. My goal for you, I learned jobs are important. His question was, what do I do? Okay, let's start. So I learned.
I believe you are my son.
Easy, automatic, right? Do you have to think about blinking your eyes?
No.
You have
Mamma mia!
Hello, everyone. My name is Tiffany Rivera Di Lucho. My pronouns are she, her, and ella, and I am the Senior Program Manager for the Martinez Fellowship Program. That means that I support pre-service and early career BIPOC educators with their personal and professional development with a liberatory lens. That means that fellows get to center their lived experiences and their stories in a like-minded community of support.
Hello, everyone. My name is Amrita Calder, and I'm a former classroom teacher and the director of the Network for EdWork. My team is passionate about sustaining and keeping educators of color in schools. We know the importance of racial identity in our schools and districts, whether working with white leaders or leaders of color. Some of the most important work we do with educators is centered in storytelling and building community. Today, we are going to start our time together by experiencing what that looks like.
All right, everyone, we're going to start off with a grounding exercise. And for those that are not familiar with these types of practices, it may feel a little uncomfy. So we really appreciate your vulnerability in engaging in this practice. I invite you all to take a deep breath in and out. And if you feel comfortable, close your eyes. If not, lower your gaze. Plant your feet on the ground. Roll your shoulders back. Loosen up your jaw. Feel where the tension is and take a moment to release the tension. Now, I want you all to think about a moment in your time as a student where you felt the most seen, heard, or understood. Connect to your senses. What did that look like? What did it feel like? What did it sound like? What did it smell like? What did it even taste like? Take a few moments to reflect on this. If it's helpful, you can jot it down. So Amrita, what was the moment you thought about?
Well, Tiffany, I was brought back to 5th grade with Mr. Prosk, and at the end of every school year, he would personalize certificates for all of his students, and that year, he gave me the Oprah Winfrey Award for public speaking.
That's so sweet. I love that. Thank you for sharing, Amrita. Well, I invite you all to take another deep breath in and out. And I'm going to ask you all to be brave, and with your elbow partner or somebody at your table, share that moment with them, but only share what you're comfortable sharing. So take about a minute to share, and then you'll have an opportunity to switch. All right, if you haven't done so already, switch your partners, you have another minute. Ten more seconds.
All right, now we are going to take a survey of the room. So I'm going to have everybody come back. Raise your hand if your moment as a student included a favorite class or subject. All right. Raise your hand if it was an after-school sport or program. Raise your hand if it was a teacher. Wow. Take a look around and see how many of you were positively affected by your teachers. If your children matter, then their teachers should matter too. Educator development is an essential part of TAF's mission to address racial disparities in schools because our educators have a direct impact on our students' lives. The Martinez Fellowship Program is an example of TAF creating pathways that support and sustain teachers of color that feel confident and have a sense of belonging, while teaching in transformational ways. Thank you for your vulnerability and courage to share today.
Thanks, y'all.
If I had to choose one word to describe the Martinez Fellowship, it would be grace.
Community.
Revitalizing. I think the one word I would choose for Martinez Fellowship is comunidad, is community in its true, authentic form.
The Martinez Fellowship is a place where educators of color can come together and discuss the issues that are popping up in our internships or in our jobs, in our teaching placements, and it really gives us a space to go over the issues that we might not feel comfortable bringing up in white culture dominant schools.
This is a place where you find your people. Being a part of Martinez Fellowship has been primarily that.
The fellowship brings more than just training. It provides a sense of belonging and validation that strengthens my commitment to teaching. It's been a space where I can both grow and contribute, knowing that my unique perspective as a BIPOC educator is valued.
I look around and I'm like, I don't know if I've been around this many educators of color before. And it's amazing. Like, everyone brings their own experiences and tips and tricks, and I'm like in awe already, just like being in community with everyone.
The support that you're going to get here is so much different than any other sort of like professional development opportunity or workshop space that you can get anywhere else.
I realized just even during the interview that this was the sort of community I was hungry for. These were the connections that my cultural ethnic self was thirsting for.
Hello, I am Nedra Gutierrez. My pronouns are she, her, hers. I am a current TAF coach and a forever educator. My life did not start with a drive to be in education. In fact, I hated school. I wasn't a troublemaker, but I wasn't all in either. I never felt like I could express myself within the rigidity of public school itself. Still, I pushed for opportunities. In middle school, I was placed in AVID. As some of you know, that is the Advanced Via Independent Determination Program. And I fought for the opportunity to attend an art school called the School of Arts and Enterprise in Pomona, California, which was 5 towns over from the town I lived in. And I had to get up at 5 a.m. every morning and take a train with my friend Frankie. And with the help of my mom and his family, we made it there every day, and even at that point in time in my life, I pushed for my advocacy to educate for myself and my peers. When I was 16, we moved from California to East Texas, and everything shifted. I was in a town of 1150. That was the full population, was 1,150 people. I was one of 5 black students in my high school, and I was surrounded by preconceived notions of who I was as a light-skinned black kid living in a prestigious country club, and there was no way I could be fully black or that smart or dressed like that. The weight of everyone's judgment, from adults to peers, was overwhelming. I felt like a shell of myself. navigating the external and internalized racism and trying not to disappear. I poured myself into my achievements. Won at play competitions, writing for the school newspaper, college courses, anything that helped me build a way out. And those choices ended up saving my life. It wasn't perfect. In the early 2000s, earning a high school diploma meant passing a standardized test. And I didn't pass the math portion. That still hits a soft spot. Those college courses kept my academic life intact, and with the support of my mom and my stepdad, I moved forward without a diploma and without a GED. What I do have now are 3 degrees. I have an associate's in theater, a bachelor's in philosophy, and with the help of the Martinez Fellowship, a master's in education. The Martinez Fellowship helped me by clearing a pathway, they didn't just give me connection, they gave me community and the time to understand that I deserved to take up space in education. They helped me separate my worth from a test score and remember that I am a human with heart and passion and purpose. That sense of belonging continued when I met with the Network for EdWork in person. I started with them in the pandemic, the throes of the pandemic in 2020. This beautiful gathering of educators of color from so many different backgrounds. We were all on a teeny tiny screen. In that moment, I knew that I wanted to work for TAF in that moment, a nonprofit that was doing the work in real and tangible ways. Being part of a team where we can speak openly, push for honest solutions, and honor our students as whole people has been so healing for me as a former student in white-dominated classroom spaces. Our first in-person gathering was at Islandwood a few years later, centering on self-awareness, like the activity led by Amrita and Tiffany, and managing our stress as educators of color. Now, as a transfer med coach, I am part of an incredible team supported by leaders like Bethany and Andy who model what we teach, who you'll see here next on stage. We reflect with teachers while we reflect on ourselves. We help educators feel whole, grow their practice, and build classrooms where students are leaders of their own learning. And as someone who never had a true connection with the teacher growing up, besides my geometry teaching baseball coach, who loved Marilyn Monroe as much as I did, we had a lot of conversations about conspiracies, I now get to help create the kinds of learning spaces that I never had. And that's the work. I get to push educators towards deeper conversations with their students. Conversations where students are part of the team. And that's the work. That's why I'm here. And that's the power of the journey that brought me to this moment to be with you. So thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Andy Lang. I am our Senior Program Manager at Tech Access Foundation and Transform Ed. Really want to say thank you for being here. I came to TAF 10 years ago as a student teacher at TAF Academy, and then was hired, my very first job teaching, stayed at TAF Academy, and made the transition over to TAF at Sahali.
And my name is Bethany Avery. I am the Senior Program Manager for Transform Ed. I'm a former elementary classroom teacher. I was an educational learning consultant specializing in technology in the classroom with Microsoft. And then I came to TAF in 2018 to be a coach, transformation coach, just like Netera, at Bose Elementary. Within TAF's education team, we work side by side on the Transform Ed program. partnering with schools across Washington to create highly relevant, hands-on, equitable classrooms, places where our students, community members, teachers want to be. We do this through the implementation of our STEM by TAF model, a unique combination of project-based learning, which grounds our schools' curriculums in the questions and challenges our students and their families really care about, supporting them along the way with daily on-site coaching.
We ask teachers and administrators to step into a different way of teaching, a different way of thinking about their classroom spaces, of honoring their students' lived experiences. And for teachers, this can be difficult, challenging work. It can bring with it a certain amount of discomfort, of not knowing quite how things are going to go, of learning how to take risks, and of being courageous in a system that isn't always built for student voices to be heard. But we know that when educators model risk-taking, they show students what is possible. Now, Bethany and I are both former classroom teachers, and so we love classroom engagement. So we're going to invite you to answer a few questions with us. We're going to put a QR code up on the screen. So if you'll bring out your phones, and go ahead and scan that QR code.
Two people have joined. Woo! That's engagement. Wow!
Over the next few minutes, we're going to ask you a couple questions. So also, after this first one, don't put your phone away. All right, I'm going to go ahead and give you the first one. Our first question for you is, what words come to mind when someone asks you to take a risk? What words, phrases, feelings, hesitations, terror, body sensations? What kind of stuff comes up for you? Excitement, courage, anxiety, fear, opportunity.
I really love the use of emojis, thank you.
The person who just said, yikes.
Thank you so much for sharing. I want to tell you all a story about a teacher at one of our school sites that is taking a risk. We're going to switch back to our slides. Perfect. This is Jackie, one of our Transform Ed coaches, who's been working with this teacher for the past couple of years. This teacher is deeply caring, absolutely wonderful to work with, and fired up about giving her students hands-on learning experiences. So Jackie begins spending time in her classroom and notices something right away. The teacher is doing all of the talking. Her intentions are solid, her energy is high, but her voice is filling every single corner of that room. And while she's talking, her students are waiting, talking to each other, looking for ways to interrupt, slowly becoming unfocused, and not really following her train of thought at all, of course. So after a few visits, Jackie gently offers this teacher an insight. Your students want to do this work. They're ready for it. They need more space to talk, to interact with each other, and the material. That's a risky suggestion, because what Jackie is really inviting this teacher to do is release a little bit of control, so her students can step in with their own voice, their own ideas, and make their own mistakes. That's scary. Keeping control, doing all of the talking, that feels like the safer path. What if they can't do it? What if they struggle? What if they get off task? What if they goof off? What if they make a mistake? As a former overteacher kind of controlling myself, I had all of those thoughts and questions run through my head when I got pushed out of my comfort zone, to give up a little bit of my control to offer it to my students. It's risky, it feels overwhelming, and scary. Now, I'd love to give you all a pretty bow at the end of this story. That is not how anything in education ever works. This teacher heard Jackie's suggestion and is open to trying a variety of things, open to talking about what it really means when we say talk less or giving up control. She's open, she's trying new things, And she has noticed that when she talks just a little bit less, her classroom becomes more vibrant with inquiry and discourse. She isn't there yet, but she took her first steps, trying new ways of teaching, which will eventually be her new default. She's going down this path to make that change and is open to seeing what happens when she takes that risk, that less safe path. Now, risk-taking is a scary skill to grow at any age, especially when you're not purposefully practicing that skill. How do we prioritize risk-taking, which is so often pushed to the back, seen as a soft skill or less important in a classroom setting? How do we re-emphasize it as a core element as to what it means to learn in the 21st century? The STEM by TAF model is the framework through which we do that, through which we transform instruction. It integrates project-based learning, real-world relevance, rigorous academics, and culturally responsive teaching, all wrapped up in coaching and collaboration with our teachers.
And this isn't something that we put together in a binder and we hand off, or we check in with them every few months to see how things are going. This is something we build with them, with our teachers, with our administrators. We build with them through ongoing daily coaching. Our transformation coaches meet with our teachers and meet them where they're at to help them build up into who they can be. Every day, teachers at TAF partnered schools are teaching students and teaching teachers, teaching themselves, teaching each other how to take risks, how to ask relevant questions, how to engage in hands-on learning experiences, how to engage in peer feedback, colleague feedback. And for our students specifically, this isn't to pass a test, but to become problem solvers, civic leaders, active agents for change within their communities. And we do this primarily through projects. But when we say projects, don't think about what you all probably did in high school and college when you were forced into a group of random folks and one person had to do all of the work and that one person just happened to always be you. That is not what we're talking about. That is not a STEM by TAF project. That is not what you saw outside these doors. When we talk about a project, we mean student-centered, student-led, inquiry-based, sometimes messy, always challenging, real life, real importance, real this matters to me projects. And these types of projects have three core components.
The first is a community-centered question, which powers all the teaching and learning throughout the entire project. The students are constantly trying to solve that problem. Imagine with me that we are a group of teachers about to plan a project. We work at a very large school. Just go with it. We know that this topic is something that our kids care about. Elementary, animals, always a big hit. Middle school, maybe something about body health. High school, housing instability within the community. Woo! We got a topic. Next, our TAF coach is going to sit with us. Their main point is to guide us and go deeper into what are our students like? What are our learning standards? What's our content? Together, we build a community-centered question that our students will work toward answering, that they will use to drive their learning. It's open-ended enough to spark real inquiry. No quick Google search will do. It's not hypothetical. It's not abstract. It's about our families, our communities, our environment, our future. A good community-centered question draws upon our students' inherent curiosity and points them in a direction towards solving an actual issue they care about. Now, up on the screen, we're going to put back up another survey question. So if you don't have your phone out, grab that again. These questions that should show up much better to read on your phone are types of questions that our students would engage with that are community-centered. We would like you to answer which of these community-centered questions would you have most connected with as a student? Submit your vote. All right. Ooh, the redesigning the school day to incentivize movement, yes.
Focus on housing insecurity.
Housing, animal one. It's always interesting what people connect with. All right, thank you so much for sharing. See a couple more coming in. We're going to ask you to take a risk here. Earlier in this program, when Amritha and Tiffany were up on the stage, they asked you to turn and talk to your neighbors. We're going to ask you to do the same. What we're going to ask you to do, though, is when you turn and talk to your neighbor, you're going to answer this question. What steps would you take in order to answer the question you most connected with? We're going to give you 1 minute to turn and talk to your neighbor and share, again, what's the next steps that you would take to actually answer that question? Go.
I take about 10 more seconds. We know this is far too quick. All right, go ahead and start coming on back. So whoever's currently talking, go ahead and finish your thought, and then come on back. All right, awesome. Thank you so much also just for engaging in these turn-in talks. So when a teacher has one of these community-centered questions figured out, we then sit with them and we plan the final product. This is what our students are going to be making in order to show everything they've learned. And to design one of these, we sit with our teachers and we ask questions like, what do our students need to experience in order to answer this question? Not just learn, not just do, experience. Knowing what we know about them, how do their skills and excitements meet this opportunity, this moment, this problem? And honestly, one of the biggest questions, what do they care about? What do they love to do? Do they doodle? Do they read fantasy? Do they talk about what jobs they want to do at some point in the future? The key is that we move beyond the confines of a 5-paragraph essay or a worksheet with math problems on it. A student in the STEM by TAF model is showing their learning through prototypes and business plans, through movie scripts and podcasts, through advertising and activist campaigns. We ask, what can we invite our students to create with their hands and their imaginations and their stories and the fullness of who they are? So if you were a student and you had that community-centered question you were just looking at, the question is, what would have gotten you excited to create? These are all examples of very real final products. Would you have gotten excited to make a podcast, a children's book, a business proposal, an awareness campaign, a 3D printed model, a board game? And as some are already doing, go ahead and vote. What is the thing that would have gotten you ready and excited to go to school every day? What would have gotten you pumped to be there, that I get to do this? Business proposals, awareness campaigns, board game.
Podcast.
All right, now go ahead and turn to the person next to you again and just share why. What did you pick and why? This will be really quick, just about 45 seconds.
All right, we're going to begin to come back. Thank you. Last turn and talk that we're gonna do, so you can take a breather. As you all probably noticed, there's a lot of different ways to answer these questions and to show what you've learned. And because of this, when you step into a STEM by TAF classroom, you're stepping into a space where the learning looks a little bit different. That's the magic of our model. The third component of a project really changes how our students experience the education system. It's the learning experiences that teachers create and implement that allows students to learn the content and skills through the lens of solving a real-world problem. Things you may experience or see might be students working in groups, leaning over prototypes. Oh, that's not right. There we go. Students working in groups, leaning over prototypes, debating ideas, sketching plans on idea boards, researching concepts, or checking data from yesterday's trial. There's a hum of energy in the room because the students are doing the actual work. You'll see students making mistakes and talking about them openly. Mistakes become part of the culture, not something to hide, but something we can all learn from. In a STEM by TAF classroom, risk-taking isn't optional, it's essential. Students try something before they know it'll work. They build it before they're totally sure. And every time they take that risk, their confidence grows. You'll also see iterations everywhere. New drafts, revised designs, sticky notes full of what if we tried or maybe next time. Students learn that improvement is a process, not a single moment. That a project is a success through the process of learning, not necessarily in having the perfect, flashy, final endpoint. You'll see community partners in the room or on Zoom, software engineers, artists, environmental scientists, bankers, entrepreneurs, designers. These partnerships are making learning authentic for our students and help them to see themselves in future pathways. A STEM by TAF classroom is alive with thinking. It's grounded in collaboration, fueled by curiosity, and sustained by the belief that every student is capable of innovation. This is the environment that creates a STEM by TAF graduate. This is what solves problems we're facing as a community and moves us forward into a future our students are already in the midst of imagining. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Aubrey. Hi, I'm Lanisa.
And hi, I'm Sarah.
We're all in the 7th grade and we go to TAF at Holly Middle School.
Excellent, thank you for that warm welcome. My name is Sarah Frisbee. I am the STEM by TAF transformation coach at TAF at Holly, and I'm gonna tell you about their project just briefly. So they had to research a space object, they had to create a website and an interactive exhibit for Brigadoon 5th graders who came over and actually interacted with it at that time. And we are gonna start by hearing about their project process. So, ladies, how did your science, humanities, and math class get involved with this project?
In math, we had to create a scale model of Hygeia in the scale 1 to 77 million. And since Hygeia was too small in our scale, we had to make it bigger so that the 5th graders could feel it.
For humanities, we had to create our script for what we were going to say to the 5th graders coming from Brigadoon. And we also explored the question, is it fair to spend money on space while Earth is still suffering climate problems?
In science class, we created the model and we utilized the makerspace so we could create our puzzle, which is our interactive activity using the laser cutter.
Excellent, thank you guys. Yes, they are amazing. So then my question is, sometimes even adults have a hard time working as a team, occasionally maybe. And I was wondering, how did you guys work together as a team?
Working as a team wasn't too difficult because me and Aubrey had previously worked together last year on STEM Expo as well. So we had some background knowledge on each other, and this year was more fun because we had Sarah working alongside with us.
Excellent. I'm glad you guys worked so well together at that time. That's so cool. One of the pieces that you guys did was actually your interactive exhibit. And so my question is, why did you guys decide to do a puzzle for your interactive exhibit?
The reason why we decided to do a puzzle is because over 2 billion years ago, Hygeia was hit by a 75 to 150 kilometer projectile that caused it to shatter into many pieces. And Hygeia's gravity pulled it back together. And when you're doing a puzzle, you have to put it back together. So that's kind of why we decided to do that.
That's so cool. What a really interesting and creative way to get that. Yes, give them a round of applause for their brains. Such good brains. Excellent. And so the next piece that you guys worked on was this website. And we're going to get to see a quick little demo of what it looks like. What are you guys most proud of?
What I'm most proud of for the website is the slide of how Hygeia got its name, because I really like how the information is laid out and the aesthetics of the slide.
Something that I like about our website is how the information that we got is laid out, like how she said.
Personally, my favorite thing about the website was how the colors matched Hygeia.
Yeah, they did such a good job on that website. Thank you for sharing what you were most proud of. Now, we're just going to talk overall about this project. What was something that you really enjoyed about it?
Something that we really enjoyed about the project was probably painting the model. It's kind of like peeling off right now, but initially we really liked painting it because we were all working together.
Excellent, thank you. We talked about what we liked. Now we're going to talk about what was challenging about this particular process for you guys.
A challenge that we faced during this project was having to redo or redesign the way we were going to do our interactive activity, because at first our interactive activity was going to show the 5th graders how dark the surface of Hygeia was, but then we changed it to a puzzle because we thought that was too boring. And at first, puzzles weren't allowed, but we convinced our teachers to let us do it by telling her how it actually related to Hygeia.
Yes, another round of applause for that charisma. Amazing. We love students who advocate for themselves. And so the last question that I have for you guys is, what are some takeaways that you want people to know about your time on this project?
Some takeaways I want people to know about our project is more facts about Hygeia, because people really focus on the main planets of the solar system and don't care about the dwarf planets and the asteroids. And I also want them to know that working as a team, you'll always be able to find better ideas and get more insight on what you're doing.
Yes, excellent. Let's give a round of applause to these lovely ladies telling us about their project process. Excellent job. And then we are going.
Thank you so much. Stuff. Thank you. Thank you.
The most rewarding part about investing in TAF has to be that I get to help create the same foundation for someone else that TAF created for me. It quite literally changed my life. It gave me the confidence to walk into any room and know that I belong.
Changing education systems is a heavy lift. I'm most proud of TAF for continuing in the effort and having such wonderful success.
Lots of organizations make promises about what they're going to do. TAF just does it. Student-centered education, bringing out the gift in every single child, transforming thousands of lives.
Hi, I'm Larry Powelson, and I'm a longtime supporter of TAF. I volunteered, I was a teacher in their TTIP program, and I donate every year. What I like best about supporting TAF is working with the kids. It is a really great feeling to teach them new skills, to help them learn and grow, and to see what creative things they do with those ideas. And I always learn something too. When I can't be there in person, I know that my donated dollars are also helping them learn and grow. So that feels really good too. Please join me in giving to TAF.
One word I would use for why I donate to TAF is results.
Effectiveness.
Legacy, because I would hope, and in fact, no, I know that my contribution and those of others will help ensure that doesn't stop.
Thanks to all of our amazing presenters today. Before we close out,
a quick reminder that our raffle is now about to close, and we'd like you to raise your hand and try to make one last run at the last few entries that are available if you still can. And please stick around to see if you're a lucky winner of any of these amazing prizes.
thanks, Walt. My name is Michael Nguyen, and I am proud to serve on the TAF Board of Directors. Thank you. I'm actually a former public school teacher. I spent many years teaching in urban schools, including here in Washington State. And one of the reasons that I joined the board was because TAF's philosophy and mission speak to my own personal why about why I went into education. I share a lot of the values with the organization, ones like effective educators who are learning and connecting with who their students are, what their backgrounds are, what their interests are. But what I wish that I had had when I was teaching was being part of a larger system that really aligns with why students need to learn. You heard it here earlier from a lot of the coaches and staff and the students. I wish that I had had the opportunity to do project-based learning in my own classroom, supporting students to develop skills, to understand and solve issues that impacts their community. I wish that I had been able to work in a community of colleagues and leaders who shared that same vision, where we could collaborate and plan across disciplines, and where learning is the ultimate goal. Learning, not achievements, not test scores, not even graduation goals or college attainment necessarily as the main goal, but learning. I believe so much in TAF's philosophy, and that's why I give to TAF.
Fantastic. Thanks, Michael. I'm Walt Brown. I'm the TAF co-president, and I'm here because I literally begged Trish to put me on the board. I might have cried a little bit in there as well. Why was I willing to beg, and why do I support TAF? I'm someone who benefited immensely from STEM education. I have a background in architecture and engineering, and for many years practiced as someone who felt like I was the only person of my type in the room. I had the great opportunity to have a father who was an Air Force electronics technician and instructor who was raised in poverty in Tuskegee, Alabama. He encouraged my siblings and I to pursue post-secondary education in areas of STEM. That experience that I had in my professional career was not only relegated to areas in architecture and engineering, but also into technology, much like Trish's experience with Microsoft. And when I saw TAF founded in the mid-1990s, I knew then that I wanted to be involved. And thanks to Jamila Conley and Mary Beth Canty, I have finally been able to do so in joining the board. I'm here because TAF is talking the talk and walking the walk. TAF raises the funds. TAF develops the programming. TAF is partnered with administrators. TAF enables teachers. And most importantly, TAF is empowering students to rise above and hold space that they worked hard to earn and are deserving of. TAF makes a difference, and so do you. And that's why we're here today, and we'd like to thank you for joining us.
That's why we are excited and honored to share the biggest news for TAF's future. We are launching our boldest endeavor yet, a new campaign to expand our Transform Ed program with plans to add 10 new school partners over the next 5 years, bringing deeper instructional supports to more teachers and more classrooms, educating 12,000 more students. The campaign launches later this year, but the funds raised today will help pave the way for these future scholars and their teachers to have the team support that you witnessed here today.
You can help make this transformation possible by scanning the QR code up here behind us, using the QR codes in the programs in front of you, or texting to donate using the code above as well.
We're asking you today to join us in supporting TAF. It's an organization that I believe in, that Walt believes in, and based on what you have seen and heard today, we hope that it's one that you also can believe in.
And by becoming a monthly donor, renewing your monthly gift, or donating $360 or more in this room right now, you'll be doubling your impact.
And here's that QR code again, in case you missed it earlier. And now we'd like to ask Trish to come up to help close us out and find out who won some of these amazing raffle prizes.
As we wait for Trish to get here, first up, we'll start with our Wildlife Wonder Bundle. You want to draw those?
Okay. All right, Wildlife Wonder Bundle.
And the winner is
1155246.
Last 4 digits, 5246.
Ah.
Okay.
And next,
Amazon
the winner of the
bundles
Amazon
next.
bundle.
$5120, the last 4.
5120.
5120.
Perfect. All right. And last but not least,
Okay, this one's very full.
the winner of 2 round-trip first-class tickets on Alaska Airlines.
How many bought more than 1 ticket for this?
Everybody. You want me to hold it?
Okay. 5214.
5214.
Whoa. There you go.
So one last announcement. Feel free to leave the envelopes on the table, and staff will pick those up. And please make sure to grab your commemorative cookies on the way out. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Can we leave these up?
Drive 100 miles an hour, staying out too late. Living life as a nomad, take it day by day. Cause there's no one to tell us what to do. I want the sunny days to shine a light on me. Can't let them go to waste. They feel so far away when all the sky is gray. I miss the sunny days. Don't speed ahead, relax instead. Let time show you the way. shine a light on me. Can't let them go to waste. They feel so far away when all the sky is gray. I miss the sunny days. Sunny days, where did you go? My sunny days, miss my sunny days. Where did you go? I want the sunny days to shine a light on me. Can't let them go to waste. They feel so far away when all the sky is gray. I miss the sunny days.